Welcome, Lee here from Play Guitar Academy. Do you ever wonder why some solos sound full of life and others sound flat? The secret is not just what you play, but it's how you play it. Today I'm giving you 5 licks that show how dynamics bring solos to life. But before we get started, to get the most out of these lick lessons, you should sign up for my free email course. It's called Blues Solo Breakthrough. This is 6 steps to confident killer solos. It's packed with tips and strategies to help you play with confidence and make every single note count. Let's talk about dynamics. Dynamics deals with the control of the volume of your notes, also the attack of your notes, and the variations between quiet and loud notes. It's why most solos sound flat is because they play everything at the same volume and the same way. So what's your goal? Your goal is to make every note count while you play by controlling just how loud or quiet or how hard or how soft that you play that note. It's that easy. So what I have for you today is 5 licks that show in the blues how you can use dynamics to its maximum effect. It's very simple, but you have to be intentional about it. So let's take a look. Lick number 1. Okay, these are in the key of E blues, and each one of these licks goes one after another. It goes all the way through a 12-bar blues, but this one starts up here at pattern 4 in the key of E minor pentatonic. We're starting the G string at the 9th fret. That's our E. Then we're going to go up 8, 10 on the B string. That's the minor third to the 4th. Half step on the 10th fret. And then we're going to go a full step for a whole lot of notes after that. And these are triplets. So the first one is a half step bend. Second one is a full step bend. And now these are all pre-bends after that, which means we've done the bend. We're just going to go. We're going to play that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then we're going to go back to the 10th fret without being bent on the B string and go back to the 8th fret on the B string and back to the E note. So all together, it sounds pretty nice, but it's kind of flat. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the dynamics into this. The bends start, we have a crescendo. We're starting small, starting quiet, and building up to very loud by the end of all of these bends. So very expressive. It really gets you right where it counts during those bends. And also, if you notice, we have vibrato over the last beat of the first measure and the first beat of the second measure. So that really adds to the dynamics. So now we're on to lick number 2. Now this is going to be different. The last one went from soft to loud. This is using accented notes. Accented notes are notes that have a stronger attack, and because of that, they're louder than the other notes. So if I'll do the notes that we're going to play first, it's 10th fret on the high E string, then 10th fret on the B. This is all pattern 4 as well too. 7th fret on the high E string, then 8th fret on the B, 10th fret on the B string, to 9th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B string, to 7th fret on the G, and then finally ending at the E on the 9th fret of the G. This is a sequence. This is taking a scale and breaking it up into little sections as you walk your way down. But if you notice, on the first note, we have an accent that's louder. The third note, the 5th note, the 7th note, and then the first note. Lick number 3, another thing that you can do in the blues that's very effective for dynamics is palm muting. When you rest your palm down here by the bridge, it mutes part of the note, depending on how far you go up. But if you keep it right by the edge of this, where the string and the bridge meet, you can take off some of the sustain of the note. It makes it shorter, but it also drops the volume down a little bit as well too. We're going to start at the 9th fret on the D string. That's a B. To the 12th fret, that's our D. And then to the E. So we're setting up an E note. This is on pattern 5 of the E minor pentatonic scale. Now these are 16th note triplets, so for each beat, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bump, 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 bump. 1, 2. So we're doing a sequence again. We're going up 3 and back 1. If you slow it down, it's pretty nice. And we're going to palm mute the first half. And let off for the rest of them. So it's 9, 12 on D, 9 on G, 12 on D, and then 9, 12, 9, 12 on G, then 10 on B, back to 12 on G, and then 10, 12 on the B string, all the way up pattern 5. Now we're going to take the same idea and the same use of dynamics, but we're going to do it up at the 12th fret in pattern 1. So we're going to start at the D note, the 12th fret on the D string. So our triplet is 12, 14, and 12 on G. The next triplet is back to 12 on D, and then 12, 14 on the G. And then on our next set of 3 is 12, 14 on G, and 12 on the B. And then our last one in this measure is 14 on G, 12 on B, and 15 on B. So far. And now when we get to the next measure, we're going to palm mute these, but these are 8th note triplets, not 16th note triplets. So they're going to be a little bit longer. So it's going to be 15, 12, 15 on B. And we're going to palm mute that. And then we're going to have 12 on the high string, back to 15 on the B. Then we'll go up to 15 on the high string and back to 12. So this whole section, we're going to add some dynamics into this. With the palm mute, it's going to start nice and low. And we're going to build up to the 15, each note getting louder and louder and louder until we get to the last note of the phrase, which drops down to quiet. So now in lick number 4, we're going to be doing something called sudden drops. That's where we build, 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 and then you just drop down to nothing. Let's take a look here. We're going to start off at the 13th fret up on a G string. And then we're going to, on the D string, we're going to play the 12th and 14th fret. And those are all going to be palm muted. They're going to be quiet. Now we move to the high string. We're going to play from the 12th fret to the 14th fret to the 16th fret and build the whole time. So by the time we get to the 16th fret, we're loud. And then we're going to drop down to a very quiet 13. Sudden drops are really, really effective. And I did another one here to lead into the next lick. So if you look, we go right before we go to the B chord, we're going to do this 12 again. 12, 14, 16. We're going to have a medium volume to a building to a loud volume. And then we're going to drop down to nothing again to 16 on the G. So if we put those two together, very sweet sounding lick there, and it sets up lick number 5. The last type of dynamics I think works really, really well for the blues is call and response dynamics. That's where you play something at one volume and then repeat it or play something complementary at either a lower volume or a higher volume, something that's different. So let's take a look here. We're going to start at the B7 chord. And we're going to do a walk down from 14, 13, 12 with a trill. So it's 14, 13, 12. This is on pattern 1 in the key of E. I'm sure you know this by now. 15 to 12, D to B. And then we're going to do the blues scale back. 15 on G, 14 on G, 12 on G. So all of it together is But now we're going to do a complementary lick to that, something that's very similar, but not exactly the same. So we start on 17 this time on the B string, but we will do a chromatic walk down just like we did on the one before. 17, 16, 15 with a trill. That's from 15 to 16. And then we'll walk down the blues scale again. 16, 15, 14, 12 on the G string and finish on 14. That's our E on the D string. But this is the quiet part. Listen to this. So we started loud. Very cool. And then we're going to end it with a little tag for the turnaround. That's 12th fret on B and 14th fret on the high E string. That tells us we're all done. It's time to start over. Thanks to all of our Academy members over at PlayGuitarAcademy.com who are tearing into the tab and the guitar profiles from this lesson right now. And don't forget to sign up for Blues Solo Breakthrough. It'll make all this easier for you. And as always, let me know what you think in the comments. Have a great practice, and I will see you in the next lick video.